right here, this announcement was very representative of the Odyssey discussion online, where there's no ability to think for anyone's self. People just react because that's what they do. And I was telling people, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is a good thing. But everybody looked at this and says, oh, well, Elon told me that I'm not supposed to like the Odyssey, so this must be bad news. Anybody with a brain can look at this and go, keeping social media influencers off of any movie is a fucking positive. And it's also, people were saying they're trying to control the narrative by keeping social media influencers. What the fuck are you talking about? That is controlling the narrative. It doesn't mean the movie is going to be good. It doesn't mean anything about that. It's a good thing that we don't have these fucking shills that are going to overly praise something just because they got access to it.
Absolutely.
This is a good thing.
And I think it's hilarious. What's also hilarious is the corporate critics are super happy about this because, listen, shills don't want competition. They are going to shill on their own.
Speaking of the guy, Scott Mance, he was awful. He was like, yes, you know, and the people are like, what are the difference in corporate critics and influencers anyway? And he goes, if you don't know the difference, I'm not gonna tell you.
Well, John Rocha was for it too, and I'm like, they don't like competition. Now, I would respect Scott Mance a little more than
that's why this whole thing is funny because
Rocha or whatever.
The outlaw nation.
Fucking man has no neck.
He's so pathetic.
This announcement is interesting because
what
obviously
is this
you can
retard
see it
doing?
from a couple different ways. One of the just like immediate reactions, like, oh, they're scared of word of mouth, and it's like, I think that the Odyssey is gonna be like a hugely divisive thing, and even
shit
if
in the back today, dog.
is executed well, there's still going to be people that have massive problems, and understandably so, because of some of the changes they're making to a story that's been around thousands and thousands of fucking years.
Ask you a fucking question.
But I agree with what we've seen, especially in the lead up to Supergirl and the Superman, the Deep Universe shills and the Marvel shills, the Disney shills, the Star Wars shills. Like, there is incentive for these influencers, whether it be on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, to just say whatever's on the fucking script at any moment in time, to get invited to these events, to go meet Dave Filoni, right, and have him jerk you off or whatever the fuck he does there at Lucasfilm, to go meet Leslie Headland, to go hang out with James Gunn and David
Pedro
Cornwell on the red
Pascal.
carpet, get your fucking gift bag.
Remember the Pedro moment that they set up at Disney? He surprised these influencers with cameras that we flew out.
Exactly. And those type of influencers have become completely and totally insufferable, and also when you use them now, it's viewed in a very negative light. Like, that to me is the biggest reason. I think that it is shifted. Yes, you can still hate mainstream media critics, but they've also been revealed as the big gang of influencers who will say whatever they need to at any given point.
You know why you died there, dog? Because you didn't do the Sig Heil.
That has also gotten a very bad rap.
Fucking eyes are fucking watery and tired as fuck.
The Soups of the world, that freak. I'm sure he was hoping to get a fucking influencer past the Odyssey, a fucking story he didn't even know existed until fucking 2 weeks ago.
That's why I think that this is a sign of confidence, because they're essentially saying we don't need the really super shills, we just need the normal ones that we've been using for decades. It was like when Supergirl was in trouble, they moved up the influencer social media reactions, not the normal videos. But I just like this from this influencer perspective. We don't need you to lie for this one. That's all they're worth. So you think you're doing a really good job to defend everything, you take all of the flack, and then they just throw you away without a second thought the moment they don't need you to do it anymore.
This is, it does. Go ahead.
Imagine some fucking 22-year-old Zoomer retard on TikTok, like, trying to pass up to anybody that they give a fuck about the Odyssey, right? Like, it's like the idea is not. So it's funny that we're not.
I also think there's another side of this too, and this is Christopher Nolan is like
Tell me an interesting fact about yourself, dog.
And you cannot trust
gayest
the
question
influencers to not leak this stuff because of the
Tell
fact
me
that
about
they're
you.
up
It's
for it.
like such
And
a
I think this is him
non-fucking-
going like, I'm not gonna risk it.
I'm preparing you
because he knows
for
it's gonna
the
be controversial. Like, he needs people to
interview.
not talk about this and not the leaks to not.
Alright, I'm gonna be
get out
the
there
interviewer,
before the
okay?
movie comes out.
I don't know
Alright,
if you guys
Brock,
saw this, but in
why
the
don't you
past
tell me a little bit
week
about
and a half,
yourself?
A ton of fake reviews dropped for the Odyssey. There was a lot, and people were
Job
going
interview.
crazy, and they were all positive. And then it turned out they were all
According to
lies.
4 people.
Yes, this is a job interview.
And then there was like all like
Nice. Can you actually fucking tell me about yourself?
He's been around forever.
Yeah, I don't know what that question is.
But anyway, he uploaded to
Tell
his
me
Letterboxd
about yourself.
that he saw the Odyssey and he gave it 5 out of 5. And everybody going crazy over it. And so people started posting about it. Then they deleted a lot of their tweets. And it turned
What's
out
your
none
fucking
of the
IQ?
people had seen it, at least based on what we know. There was
Tell
also
me why I
reports
should
that-
hire a fucking retard.
That press that social media.
Why should I hire a
reactions
retard?
dropped this past Sunday.
Convince.
A lot.
I don't gotta do shit for you.
You know, I'm just going out on a limb. I don't
Why the
think
fuck do you want this job at 14
Stand by for
years?
Titanfall.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's the same thing. Like Oppenheimer kind of did the same thing. Didn't do this. The difference.
So it's just a matter of needing. You don't want to be part of our team, dog.
Either way, it's a good thing not have to involved in.
The Fortino's team.
Superman's just a great movie.
There he is.
It was like just a great movie, guys. Yeah, like, yeah. You just see this for the Odyssey. And Christopher
Can you
Nolan.
explain this gap in your work experience here? It shows you haven't worked for quite some time. Can you explain that, please?
Because they're first. That's the only thing they have going for them. There is no other narrative at the time they say the thing, and then by the time all the reviews come out and prove them wrong,
So
everyone's already
you're
forgotten.
telling me you're physically disabled? You're handicapped? You have a fucking doctor's note on that, dog? Or can I see your handicapped retard card?
Well on your way to getting your Titan.
So there's another one. When you pulled this up, I thought it was going to be like a parody that somebody was doing, making fun of all the individuals.
Yeah, that's like pretty funny.
Hey, so
You wouldn't look that much different.
I have another one down.
Well, sorry, dog. We'll be hiring again in spring.
Because after we get hit,
We'll keep your resume on file. And, you know, if anything pops up, we'll give you a call.
no.
How
does
the
that
chat that's showing up on
sound?
the screen will stay.
Correct. So the first, if you have to flip that out, the first hour and 45 minutes of chat will be gone. And it
Well,
just
just because you said that, I'm not gonna hire you. I'm putting you on a blacklist.
people are confused.
Any future application will be automatically declined. How does that make you feel, you ungrateful little shit?
We're talking about Supergirl, not because it's Supergirl, but because X-Ray Girl had not moved in like fucking 30 minutes. And people were like saying hostage video, hostage video.
Well, it's taken out here.
X-Ray Girl, hold up a newspaper with today's date. And I...
Do they still have newspapers?
For office.
What the hell is even that?
You could always run for office.
Gone ahead by much.
Is that a man or a woman?
You know,
I can't tell.
mayor.
Can't you tell?
That is a man.
Let your sister fund your campaign.
What did I do?
Honestly,
It is, ma'am.
It's got like $1 million, right? Let her fund your campaign.
By somebody.
I can forgive
Buy you a
lot,
bunch
but I
of
can't forgive that mic quality.
ad
Fuck
spots on TV or whatever.
Exactly. I
Yeah, so
apologize.
like,
You know, get your
this
picture up
is-
on billboards,
this
that kind of
is a
stuff.
situation that is actually
And just
all too common.
talk
we
about
finally have very direct video evidence of
the
something we've all
fucking
known.
immigrants,
The Venn diagram
the
between
fucking
retarded
pieces
people and
of
trans
shit,
people is
whatever,
actually just
I
one
do
fucking
circle.
really
woke
well
people.
having that as my fucking platform here.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think you do
Doesn't help
amazing.
their case, does it?
Mobile bucket.
I like the Maverick ones on the bottom.
Silhouette. Bucket.
Okay, can we talk?
If their mom or dad is filming, they should be arrested.
Get it off the screen, you bastard.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
The Superman S in Superman and Supergirl, I fucking hate it. I love Kingdom Come. Alex Ross is an absolute legend. That should not be the S symbol. I guess in a way I'm glad they're not using it. But
How's the fucking
most
looks
iconic
maxing
thing about
journey
Superman is his fucking S symbol, and they're using the Kingdom Come one for some reason. I've never understood this decision. It makes no fucking sense.
What, no progress today?
Maybe because James Gunn thought it was cool. I don't know. It's just something that irritates me.
Copyright. I think it's
What?
It's a
I'm
copyright
just
thing.
trying to
regular Superman logo's
understand
gonna
where
start
you
going into
are
public
in your
domain.
journey,
That's
dog.
right. Yeah.
If they
public
start
domain
with the
in
Kingdom
years.
Come one, they have time. Yeah,
You're the
Well,
Chad.
that's theirs forever.
Chad.
Oh, not forever, but for a long fucking time.
for a lot longer. Yeah.
60 years.
But the Superman symbol that's the most iconic. They're fine with that for a while because
retard.
we were talking about the Superman that came out in the 30s, which has a distinctively different S symbol.
Yes, but the intention here is like this Superman was supposed to redefine Superman, and it was going to be around for a long, long time. It's not making it 5 years.
No. But back to the Odyssey real quick. I don't think anybody here thinks it's gonna flop. I think that's a big fucking stretch to say that the Odyssey is gonna flop. A Chris Nolan film is gonna
This
flop.
movie's gonna make a lot of money.
Now, it might not be good. It doesn't look good to me. I'm not like super impressed with the trailers, but Nolan doesn't show much, and I don't pray at the altar of Nolan, but he's a good film director, and I'm going to give him a chance, and we'll see what happens. Probably going to hate Black Helen of Troy. No, I hate that. And I'm gonna hate it in the movie.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm not gonna fucking hate that.
Start
I'm gonna hate
the
Elliot
fucking
Page being on the
game.
fucking screen no matter what. But we'll see what happens when the movie comes out. But I don't think it's gonna fucking flop. Maybe underperform. Who knows?
Underperform
If it loses
is
money, it's a
possible.
flop. That's it.
Don't worry. You're working for the good guys.
Correct. If it loses money.
Whoa. You're going up against the
and look,
clan.
$650 million and be a film.
Oh, it's not
yeah,
a
that can
plan.
be a thing
Okay,
depending on your
Connor,
budget.
let's get
That's a fucking clan.
If it doesn't hit a
ADV.
right, when you're coming off Oppenheimer making almost a billion.
Yep.
The Odyssey.
What is
cast
it
that you
then?
have with Nolan.
It's basically
If
like a
this movie
social
doesn't hit $1
club.
billion, they will be
It's called.
doesn't mean that
So like a
But Ryan,
clan.
if it makes 600 million in 1970, it'll be a success.
This guy's so
back to something else.
What the fuck was that,
What
dude?
Something called inflation.
Inflation, bro.
What the fuck was going through
Talk
your
about that with video games.
head?
Box office. Nobody
No,
talks
that-
about video
that-
prices.
Oh yeah, because I talked about it all the time.
But there's a lot of things
You
that are
absolutely
They're
dependent.
more expensive now because they're coming out now as opposed to GTA 5, which came out 10 years ago. Yeah, it would normally be more expensive.
10.
Also, video games found other ways, so microtransactions.
Yeah.
Also, they
How
did
long?
expand.
How long ago?
Nice.
I'm not even a GTA person, so I don't give a shit.
13 years. Less time than wins and wins.
There you go. Switch 2 is expensive.
GTA 6 is gonna flop. GTA 6 is gonna flop. People have
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's still gonna fly.
It's not gonna.
By bullets, man.
It is gonna be the biggest launch in the history of gaming.
No. It's gonna be the biggest launch in the history of the entertainment period.
Yeah, probably.
Nothing. Yeah.
Do you think
But
it's
I will
in money
say-
or in units sold?
Money.
But both probably.
Oh.
But with that being
Whoa.
said, GTA 5 didn't become the
You're
second
trying
best-selling
to
game
pre-C
of all
for me and
time
then
Whoa.
because it had a monster launch.
Still can't fucking
It was that way because people played it and bought it.
That is not acceptable behavior, dog. We don't tolerate that language in this fucking party. Holy what?
GTA 5 had the biggest launch in entertainment history.
I know, but it didn't become the second best-selling game of all time because of that launch.
Oh yeah, I mean it's GTA Online.
I'm just gonna have to send you to the
Sky's connection is
It wasn't just a big opening weekend. It was staying throughout because people really enjoyed the game. They enjoyed the platform. They enjoyed online. I bought that thing on fucking like 3 different platforms over the course of the day, right? So this is gonna be a monster launch. How's it gonna do after that? I don't know. Because I have questions about Rockstar. I have questions about everything. It's going to be a monumental financial success. I think.
A lot of similar questions about GTA 6 and the Odyssey exist because we don't know if Rockstar is going to take this and go woke with it and dial back a lot of the things that they're known for, a lot of the edgy stuff. So
you would say probably.
Yeah, so there's a lot of similarities from a discussion standpoint of like, we know it's going to make a lot of money, it's going to be successful, but is it going to be pulled down by this current day bullshit?
There was an article about 4 years ago that said they were regretting their frat boy culture and had done a lot of work to replace everyone in the company. So,
now, not being a big gamer myself, is this the first game, or at least like major release like this, that's not going to have any type of physical release? Like it's just purely digital download? Or it will?
Well, it's a time thing. So it's they're releasing it digitally now, and they want people to buy the $100. But more so than just digital physical, this is a game that they are deliberately shipping at least $20.
Dude, like how is he behind me?
Like they have scraped content out of the base game, and you have to spend $100 on to get the full day one experience. And then they expect you to buy it again. They expect you to buy it again in I think it's December to get the physical.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna not buy either.
This is the first one. Gary doesn't need to do it. He fucking played this shit in real life. He doesn't need to play
Call it any time.
But didn't Red Dead 2
It
do
did.
this?
They had side activities that were locked.
Yeah, and again, it's very much similar to like, because people weren't bitching about it, no one pretended to care. Red Dead did it just like Oppenheimer did it. Nobody talks about it. Odyssey does it, everybody acts like they're upset. And GTA 6 does it, and everybody acts like they're upset.
The reality is that this year,
Maybe they weren't aware. Because if they would have been aware, they would have said something.
Because Matt Walsh didn't suddenly tweet about it. So a bunch of right-wingers that don't pay attention to this stuff.
Nice, dude. Shell shock. Fucking gave you shell
Elon told them to
shock.
hate this movie. I don't know what you're trying to imply, that the audience will just do whatever Elon wants. But Elon hopped on the bandwagon. Elon talked about it after it was already a fucking big deal. A lot of people are upset about Elon jumping on bandwagons all the time. Not fucking his 30th baby mama and fucking tweeted something about it.
I know that Elon jumps on bandwagons all the time. I know that. He jumped on the Trump bandwagon, and everybody claims he endorsed Trump.
Look what you've done now, bro.
He didn't endorse Trump until and now suddenly he's like, I endorse Trump. Well, really,
Congratulations, Jeremy. Sex or whatever.
Yeah, the Odyssey caught on our sphere because of Black Helen and Troy, a decision by Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan. Those are woke decisions.
I think the armor is what
You must kill everyone.
Well, with Metatron.
No, but even still, like that
No.
was discussion.
Well, they're not far enough away from
The
that.
armor and the look became a huge discussion. Then Black Helen and of course Elliot Page being Achilles.
That's a completely.
But you're talking about like a typical discussion that almost any film's gonna have versus
Kill me from
this is now
behind because
taking
you're
over.
fucking garbage. Look at this,
Witcher
man.
started the same way. We saw the ball sack armor, right? And then
Fucking
you know,
faggots.
then we started seeing some of the casting. And holy shit!
I think this is Hollywood right now on its back foot going, we have to do something. And right now, it's not about the movie, it's about the statement behind it, and it is about saying, we matter. We still have the cultural power and the cultural footprint to like make it matter and
use the gun,
things,
but there's
and
no
like, everybody's
recoil.
just going
So
with
good
spiritual
again,
fences.
bro.
I don't think it's a
Fucking
mistake
faggot.
that Nolan picked the Odyssey right now to do. I don't, you know, we have Doom 3, you have Doomsday, you have Spider-Man, you have all these massive fucking movies about to drop this year because they need to not lose, and they're losing horribly right now. And they're watching independent people and YouTubers take over the box office and do very well for themselves. They're also watching YouTubers call them out for their bullshit and affect their bottom line. And these people will not go quietly into the night.
Nolan is reinforcing the industry that, you know, Christopher Nolan is very anti-digital, very anti-streaming. He films on film, and that all that's cool. But he's reinforcing the beliefs, which is
backing their play. Yep.
It's disappointing, not unexpected, but disappointing to get out of it. Film out.
So the argument had been being lost, and there's lots of articles like, is DI rolling back in Hollywood? There was one recently, 40% of characters in the top 100 movies or something had all gone out. So what they needed is something in a boardroom where they could point to it and go, well, it was in this movie, and this was a success. This actually reinforces this diversity does attract different people. Look how many people went to see the movie. So whether it's true or not about the Odyssey, it will be used to convince everyone.
Yep.
It's another question.
And we can say it's Nolan's wife, but I think it's just Nolan. I think
Emma Thomas is very involved. Like she is very, very involved.
There's
She's
another
not
director whose wife is very involved. What's his
Zack
name again?
Snyder. Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Speaking of filmmakers,
You like farming?
Joe Russo, who's not a Russo brother, and the reason he gets fucking attention from anybody is because his name is Joe Russo.
Oh, yeah.
Said, on behalf of all men, I'd like to apologize to Sarah for being the absolute worst to her. Sounds like you're super in this movie, girl. Can't wait. And Mahler just fucking bodies him. Hope she sees this girl.
Doubled down too. Not Mahler, but
He did. Oh, he posted first today. Yeah.
It is funny. Everybody does think he's a Russo brother. Like everybody.
Holy fucking cunt.
that John Favreau, but not that John Favreau.
The political John Favreau, yeah. And the political John Favreau's always tweeting out pro-Obama shit, and then you get people like, look what Star Wars has become.
I thought he was supposed to storm Kathleen Kennedy's office with a MAGA hat, but look at this thick fuck.
Because I think that John Favreau used to work for the Obama administration. For the Obama campaign, one or the other. Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah.
If he's always talking about Obama, either gay for him or he worked for him. This is Joe Russo's latest tweet. Fuck the critics. Fuck the noise. Fuck the misogynistic Snyder Bros. If I was James Gunn and this script crossed my desk, I'd make it too. This movie is super girl. Well, that's probably why you're like a Z-list horror schlock director who doesn't get any attention other than X because your name is Joe Russo.
You didn't, I feel like you didn't enunciate the last sentence. It's like, this movie is super girl. Like, that's how it's fucking clear meant. You gotta give him the credit. The misogynistic Snyder Bros. You know, the female-led movie that came out in the Snyderverse era happened to do pretty well, actually. What, didn't Wonder Woman make about $900 million? If I recall. 900 million, right in that area.
Yeah, exactly.
It's $1 billion just for inflation. Yeah. It is.
Great work.
It is. I was going to send Jeremy a super chat. I couldn't because I was driving. I was going to go.
I thought you said drinking. I thought you said drinking. Go.
No. I was going to send 100, but say, well, this is $50 2016 money.
That's what I've been doing. I've been ripping this shit. I told everybody, like, unfortunately, I'm not able to read your $5 super chats because even though you make me $5, just in for inflation, you know, a little different now. So I can only read $50 super chats. Adjusted for inflation.
That works.
Those are the rules. Those are the rules. It's a thing. I never said it's not a thing. I said it's pointless to make the argument.
No, it's not.
In the box
gosh, here we go
office.
again. It applies value.
You got big bottle nonsense.
Do not bring this up. bring this up.
It's a
the
simple
worst sport in
question.
the world.
If
Okay.
Gone with the Wind came out today, would they get $5 billion?
Nothing to do with the inflation. You're applying value to a movie that came out in the 1930s. If Avatar came out in the year 199, they would draw and quarter fucking James Cameron for being a fucking heretic.
Yeah, that's fine. But none of these things are provable.
What's provable is Gone with the Wind made a certain amount of money, and if you apply that value to today's money, it is the highest grossing film that sold the most tickets. Period.
Yes, if you apply that, but it is impossible to compare a time era then versus now with all of the technology.
It is when you use inflation or
all
something.
of that.
So Jeremy, it's not impossible to compare. It is impossible to prove. What you're saying is you can't prove it. It is impossible to prove because we can't go in a time machine and recreate these fucking events and everything going on. However, the idea that because of that you can't make comparisons based off known things and ways you can project certain things and factoring in all the stuff we do know, we can make the best comparison possible. And one of the reasons it is important and the reason that tickets sold are important and all these things is because it denotes a cultural impact, right? What type of cultural impact do these things have? And to your points that I'm sure you were about to bring up, when you have, in today's day and era, where there's a lot more things going on that people can do at their time, it doesn't mean that the cultural impact of something being more or less than something else from a given time period isn't relevant. It absolutely is. And I think that was the frustration people had. I don't think anybody actually believed that you didn't think inflation was real. I think it was that you were admitting inflation is real, but you didn't think it's worth considering at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean...
Well, something to I find is
I believe that the way you pronounce that
like
is
we're trying to figure out
faggot.
the success of a film.
No.
Jeremy, is relevant. Like making a film
That's
that speaks to
fucked
the
up,
culture
dude.
of the time is important. You need to be connected with the audience to make something that they want to see. So just
No
because
one
God
deserves
makes
to be
different money now
called
because we're
that,
in a different culture
dog.
and time, it's important to still gauge that because they made a film that connected with the audience then. And people nowadays are trying to make films that will connect with the audience now. And if they pay less and they
Yeah,
sell
no one
less
deserves to get
tickets,
faggoted
well,
either, but
you
that
can
doesn't
still
really
make a
matter.
comparison between
Nice.
the films and current films. Because
What,
we're trying to
what
measure
is
success,
faggoted
trying to figure out, how
mean?
successful something is.
Getting
Yeah, I mean,
screwed
all
over.
those are Star Wars today. Okay,
Damn,
original
dog.
cut.
Why couldn't you
Not
just
George
say
Lucas'
that?
Original cut. Would it be a hit?
I think it would, but it's impossible to know. It's just like an argument. These arguments are made all the time.
Whoa, he just fucking killed you, dude.
I think that Michael Jackson would be in any era and he'd be the biggest star in the world.
Timeless. Yeah,
right.
well, I mean,
but I don't have anyone to prove that. But I'm just
you
saying,
do,
like,
you do because on Spotify.
Oh shit, you gotta
still
fix
have-
your fucking guns now, dude?
Right, right. But I've
So
also
the
argued that I
Beatles.
think the Beatles are
Alright,
fucking
let's see if
overrated
this
as
helps you,
shit.
dog.
And I don't think that they're first, and that's why everybody looks at them.
No,
So
let's see if it
Beatles,
helps you,
nobody
dog.
knows about the Beatles, but Michael Jackson, that's
people
my
like
opinion.
Oasis.
That's my opinion, but there's no way to prove that. So you just have to judge a person for when they were, and for their time, the Beatles changed the entire world.
Nice. Fucking dumbass still gets killed.
That's the only way to compare.
Wow,
to
that
be
fucking
fair,
gun
is to
literally
say, okay,
two
this is the
shots.
value
Holy
of that
fuck.
time and the value of
I
this
agree.
time.
I agree.
Fucking losers,
I
man.
agree. No, I don't.
We can have those type of arguments like this definitive 100% proof in anything we talk about. Almost, we're never going to have that, right? I could say that Rachel Zegler, that in my opinion, she definitively hurt the box office for Snow White with her fucking comments. We have no way to prove that because we do not know what would have happened if she had never made those comments. But I think we have enough context and comparisons and reactions from people
Dude,
that I
that's
think
so
we can make a
far.
great comparison.
Rachel Zegler
With a decent amount of certainty and say, I think she heard that at the box office.
One flash.
You know, even though we can't prove it.
Rachel Zegler's did and said so many stupid things, like it for sure had a. And then went outside of our circles. Like,
Getting
everybody-
fucking double teamed, man. Like that shit is so dumb. Fucking annoying.
Fans got mad at her.
Right away.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
the thing she did
Fuck.
was sexist and outdated.
her first. I think that was the first time anybody asked her.
But to Ryan's point, there's no provable. Like all we can do is speculate that had an impact.
That's all we do.
Because there's no way to know for sure. But yeah, I believe she did. I believe she did.
When a producer tries to rebel house to tell her to shut up, I think that's probably
even people that I know that are like normies that have nothing to do with this stuff. They don't even keep up with this stuff. But like, yeah, that lady, that girl playing, Snow White. I don't know. I saw an interview with her, and I'm like, yo, this is completely breached the normies for too. People, everybody
pro containment.
Yeah.
It also,
and she's still doing it too because every time she comes out and talks to an outlet, she just doubles down on being effective. Go on, this
it's like you're coming up with an impossible to prove thing and then using that. Because always one of the theories of is anything a useful comment is if you can't disprove it.
Listen to that.
It's a redundant comment. It doesn't actually mean anything. Same with knowledge. Gravity. We only know gravity exists because we drop things and every single time it's got the same stuff. But we could be wrong. Evolution is accepted, but it could be wrong. We couldn't prove it in a court of law. And so there are different ways of knowing things. You know something up to a point is like, well, near as damn it, it'll do, and we have to just go off that for everything. It's like, it's everything we know about the universe is only done from like mathematics and physics and theoretical physics and all that stuff. I think you're being a bit too over the top. It's like, well,
me over the top?
I can't believe it.
Because I can't draw around the edge.
No way.
The mountain doesn't exist.
Well, I guess it's pattern recognition.
You're like, Shaq, I flew the plane. I didn't go down.
Pattern recognition.
Yeah. There you go. He's flying.
He melted me now.
Whoa.
Got melted.
Failures that it fucking matched completely. Like the Marvel
from behind. These people
right?
play so gay,
so it was
man.
pretty easy to figure out that this thing was gonna fall.
Damn.
Man, it was also we also thought that the Captain Marvel wasn't going to do $1 billion, and it did $1 billion. So you never really.
This is my entertainment.
I don't disagree, but I'm just saying it still did $1 billion. And then the follow-up film is
Jeremy, it's a bit like what we had, just like we can't know the exact,
God bless you, sir, for providing the entertainment.
But you can know the percentage rate of where it might
Explain that one. Yeah, explain that one.
Whoa!
It's something you're using to observe it, which is actually causing the effect rather than
It's strange, though.
My favorite thing
go down that
high school. Physics teacher in high school blew our brains out by saying, hey, you know what? If you have a tree that falls in the middle of the woods, does it make a sound? And we're like, oh, yeah. I don't know. He said,
good.
So we're basically
Dude, like this guy's fucking camping on the goddamn tower, dude. I've never seen that before. What a fucking faggot, bro.
Well, that's dude, that's just people thinking themselves in circles.
Holy fuck, you have to be gay for
There's
that.
Emily Wilson.
Yeah, I was gonna say she made a comment about this.
Yeah,
and the Odyssey is 100% based on her translation.
Yes, he is using her translation.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, dog, that's a big ass gun.
But you guys all react.
Well, there's lots of evidence.
We don't
like
know.
Zendaya's taking photographs of it. He keeps bringing it up.
Know that.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't. He said the other day that he's read so many adaptations of the Odyssey he can't remember. That's what he said in the interview.
But then
You're
brought up
saying I
Emily
can't
Wilson
prove why, but I do know.
You must shoot.
He really got it.
I love how when
Nothing that's
every line.
go to
Except
fucking
the evidence
and,
that kind of points towards it. We can look at the general evidence and get a percentage. Like,
yeah, and also Christopher Nolan is all. He also swore up and down that Miranda character in fucking Dark Knight Rises wasn't Talia al Ghul. Told the audience it was a completely original character. So he's a fucking liar. So you can already judge that he's probably lying about it.
Wait a minute, but he didn't say that he didn't. He's never said he did. He's not lying about anything.
He's obfuscating. He's obfuscating.
My point is that he ran with this as a
He's a liar.
and there is nothing to
He's
support
a
that
proven
fact.
liar and a scumbag.
Lying by
He's a lying scumbag. scumbag that made like a couple good movies.
I just
Nice.
hyperbole you all went. Yeah, I know. And I'm like, I said it's 100%. He's like, yeah, I know. No, it's not. There's nothing to support that.
There's a lot of indication. There's lots of things to support it.
Well,
you can't prove it 100%.
He specifically highlighted Wilson's version in interviews, particularly opening
caught you, dog.
So I mean, he's obviously
I
drawing
don't even know
inspiration
what
from
I'm
that
getting hit
heavily.
by.
If he's quoting her thing directly, he's probably thinking about it.
No one has dealt with more.
They're fucking
I
you
love how
up.
much damage they type.
What everything is bros.
Everything Odyssey bros, huh? Wow.
Inflation bros. Weather bros.
Yeah, Snyder Bros.
Snyder bros. Who are laughing their ass off.
I love how the whole goal of her translation.
Wait,
was to
how
let us
did
know
none of
the
those
fucking
fucking
hate.
connect?
Right.
Oh my god.
Let's give them more agency.
Yeah, what are the
We
women
gotta
doing?
Fucking flies right to my bullets.
Food. Yeah.
She specifically says that no one has looked at this through a gender lens before, and so she is there to essentially realign it all.
It's an adaptation.
Yeah,
It's an adaptation.
It's fanfic. At this
Yeah.
Yep.
Is there any highlighting? Did she discuss Nolan's Odyssey? I mean, because
Happy
Sharon just
hour
said that
starts
she's
in
not
46 minutes.
involved
What
in
is
it,
that?
but she's got the most hate.
She did say his team worked with her directly.
She specifically addressed his take. And
Oh,
she's
earned
attacked
5 extra
people that
merits
are
per day.
criticizing all of
It's
that.
very
Happy hour.
weird that I got out of my academic bubble, and people are clapping
Where did
back
it
at my
say that?
statements. So it's always weird.
It'll
like
change
they
the
don't
text.
understand. They play that fucking they don't
it should
understand
pop
thing.
up again.
I completely changed Homer's Odyssey to put it through a feminist lens. It's weird that people are mad at me.
These people are just like the people in Hollywood. It's all people with the same mindset. They run out people from the right. It's actually worse in academia than it is in this shit.
If you look at her, though, there's either two options. She's either a radical feminist or she's going to be dropping F-slurs on Twitter.
She's
to
for
get
sure a
liked.
radical feminist. I
she is
assure you,
100%
especially
a
because
radical
she's in academia.
He specifically cited your opening line. Tell me about a complicated man. A reference point for him. What do you think drew him to your opener?
Black Ops 1
It's
and Black Ops 2 again, but
the ambivalence of a
you
narrator's
realize
perspective
everybody's better
on
than
the
you. All the Gen
protagonism.
Zers are better than you. Can't.
And what kind of
I'm just
fucking
saying, what would you
protagonist,
do
and
if that
what kind of
happened?
What if
tone
then
this
I'd
would
wake up
be?
and I would
Well, it's the one that
be like, damn, that
Homer
was a
wrote,
No, no.
weird
but-
dream.
well, it's the one
No,
that
no,
you
I'm saying this is the
interpreted and
reality. That's the
adapted.
scenario.
Yeah, I
That's-
would wake up and
That's
I'd
my
be like,
favorite
damn, that was a
line
weird
No,
is when she said she
I'm
read lots
saying
of
you're already
translations, and
awake.
They were all saying the same thing.
And
So
it's
then
real
I'm-
life.
so then I'm
Different
hallucinating.
needed to be said. So, well, if everyone else is
Nice.
agreeing, maybe that is just correct.
Nice.
That's such a crazy concept.
I don't know. Shad might know a guy who saw the Bible.
I might know a guy. I'm looking at Metatron's video on the truth about Emily Watson's Odyssey. I haven't watched the video yet. It's over an hour long. But I'm like,
Dog, you haven't played the game in so many years, dog. Is it really
It's not
that
going to be straight.
hard to imagine a situation in which they're better than you, dog?
Half an hour. Even if it takes longer than that, I would just go to private
Transforming
matches.
himself just as the narrative of
Nice.
constantly transforming.
Yeah, what if
itself
you
will be
did that, but
constantly
they're
transforming
still fucking destroying you in the game?
And I'd wake up.
They're transforming.
They're transiting.
They're transiting. This is a tone. I just wanted to see if she said anything specific about.
Yeah, dude, fucking get that game, yo, just so I can fucking watch you play.
She did.
You're doing some good work.
Go back up. Go back up. Go back up. Keep going.
She said, "I know he's read several translations."
Yes, including mine. Okay. Right there. Right there. There may be gray areas.
Maybe gray areas like Black Helen and Troy. Elliot Page.
There was also a bit about.
I know Christopher Nolan read several translations, including mine. And it
Holy
probably
fuck, how many times is this
contributed
fucking
to
guy
the
gonna
movie.
kill me from behind, man?
There's also a bit
Holy
further
shit.
down where it's about the online discourse. Yeah, I think I hope you have to tell us about the online discourse.
alt-right racist troll.
She does the meme. I scroll past it. It's a made-up controversy because nobody's seen this movie. You can't judge it yet. It's just the usual triggers about race and gender. I find it very tedious.
Helen of Troy has always been black.
It's very weird that she finds gender tedious, considering that's the basis of her entire translation.
Yep. I added a misogynist trolling button to my website most of the time. I can avoid it by avoiding social media, and it's fine, but I get the occasional email. Well, welcome to the internet.
I'm sure that will help stop.
I want to learn more about this.
I got no fucking.
I'm gonna send her something.
This is my swamp.
We'll find out. But it sounds like it's involved in some way.
This is my own private domicile, and I will not be harassed.
That was one of the key things that Emily's been pulling out all her entire time.
What is that from?
That would essentially be the definitive thing.
What? All right.
She wants the moral
What a lucky fuck! He fucking comes at me when I have no ammo. Of course.
They would do that because to them, slavery was
that.
So you're adding a moral judgment in a place.
Whoa.
Yes.
What was it about?
Better repent, dog.
Versus how it was originally referenced. They were referenced originally as sluts.
So fucking right.
Sluts or whores.
She changed it to something else. Yeah. Something else. And I don't know.
Yeah, I think she liked suitors and things. It was just like women that just turned up.
Yeah.
And before, yeah, because I think was it that they were taken by force or something, and so that people were judging them. And she's like, no, so I removed the sexual judgment, and also another thing. I had discussion about slavery. So it's essentially her entire translation is to put modern moral judgments into an ancient civilization.
Yeah, she changes the story.
And to put more focus on the women in general in the story.
Yep.
That's what. And that when we saw kind of in halfway, like the first couple trailers, it felt like we saw a decent amount from that. So people are wondering how much of that is going to be part of the story, which we don't know yet. All we can go is based off of the trailers.
But this is the whole point. I mean, it's the same thing with Supergirl. It's the same thing with Superman. It's the same thing with Star Wars in a way. But with the Odyssey here, you're going to be the same thing with Rings of Power. Rings of Power is a big one for this. People are going to see this Odyssey movie and say that's the original Odyssey, and they're not going to have any idea that there's a story before that, and they're not going to care. And that is the point. So whether a little change is enough. Whether it's adapting this version or that version. This is the point. I mean, is to keep moving, keep bending the story of what it used to mean or what it originally meant, and just bringing it to a different audience. And so the original audience, or the original.
I'm gonna eat some cereal.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Look at everything that's happening with Rings of Power.
What'd you got for dinner?
The dozens of people that are watching Rings of Power, us included. There's a lot of people that are seeing it. They're going to say, "Oh, I understand Tolkien. That's what it was. That's."
Wait, what's the place called?
And they're never going to touch the book. So I don't care if it's tiny change. All of them are attacks. They're micro attacks. They're centimeters. Sometimes they're inches, but most of the time they're just centimeters, moving us further along. Where the original stories don't mean anything anymore. Superman means nothing. The next generation is going to grow up. They don't have the same emotional connection to Superman as we do, and that we cannot fix that. It's done.
I told you.
Like it's over.
You and your entire family were an experiment by the CIA.
By that standard, how do you feel about Man of Steel changing Superman?
Fucking pay us something.
I mean, look at the after effects.
I hate Man of Steel.
I'm just saying, that's the point. When they get angry, let's
Now, what if I
angry.
told
Man of Steel
you
fucked up Superman.
I was a member of the CIA tasked with inspecting your progress?
Progress towards what? For people like me, man, I was watching
Insanity.
Superman with my second oldest son. Like sat down and watched it, and I was telling him how great Chris was, just getting why it's so great. He was getting into it, like we can keep the old stuff that has the true value alive by just showing it, like it's still good, and we can just show our kids. And so my kids, they're being raised.
Context matters too. What was the motivation behind Man of Steel fucking out stupid Joshua can't see it's stupid. Stupid it is.
Hey, Nolan was involved in those terrible decisions too.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He was prominent with
Made sure you would have physical calamities to stress you. But when we saw that you were beginning to persevere, we started manipulating the economy to those financial stresses.
With Man of Steel, it was a bad creative.
We're gonna see how that works.
Creative decision. There's none of the.
And if that doesn't work, we'll resort to other tactics.
Fishburne cast as Perry White is an
until you snap.
decision.
Yes, it is.
And then we'll record the data
and again, that goes back to the
make use of it later.
Wizards talking about.
How's that sound, Doug?
That underlines his point because most people are like, it's fine, but then they go crazy with it.
I agree,
well,
but
you also look
I'll
at the
be
core
back.
of like a character, and you go like, man.
Okay, pilots, let's get this job done.
Whoa.
Do we have any pilots in the area?
Two out, now the rest.
Look, pilot!
Keep fighting and you'll get your Titan.
Incoming Unite!
Alright, so I love when people have to use one-shot guns to kill me, bro. It's either that or they're behind me. It's almost like there's a weird pattern here.
Oh, why the fuck are rocks floating?
Because it's the map's called glitch. So it's either in in like a sim or it's gravity's fucked.
Stand by for Titanfall.
This team is absolute AIDS. Literally and figuratively.
Shit. Holy fuck. Whoa! Fucked up. Oh.
Man, that is such horseshit, dude. Just fucking faggots camping in the goddamn Titan. Like, actually get cancer. All these people are so gay.
Damn, dog. Nice.
Turn it around. You are dominating. Stand by for Titanfall. That pilot stepped into the wrong ring. Systems transferred to the pilot. You are dominating.
I was like, I look at the damage my fucking gun is doing. It's like, wow, it's like a millimeter a shot. It's amazing.
Hostile pilot KIA. Warning, enemy pilot attacking. Warning, multiple enemy pilots attacking. Warning, enemy pilot attacking.
That pilot doesn't stand a chance.
Oh, you can't go up there, dog.
Warning, multiple enemy pilots attacking. Friendly unit down. Our defenses are being compromised. Critical damage. Taking basic action. Pilots, you are outnumbered by hostile tactics.
That pilot stepped into the wrong ring.
Warning, severe reactor damage sustained.
No, you're doing actually pretty good.
I don't think that team knows who they're messing with. You're a talented pilot.
I thought I got stuck on a tree. It's so amazing.
That pilot doesn't stand a chance. Titan ready. Call it any time, pilot. Stand by for Titanfall. Valiant effort, team, but they won this one. The war isn't over yet.
Holy fuck, dude. Generationally bad teammates.
Steel doesn't feel like it's trying to ruin the character or reinvent the
And
mythos.
that's the beauty of it.
But
That's
you can
the
look at
beauty
Guardians
of the micro decision that he's
but you
talking
can look
about.
at Guardians of the Galaxy, and that 100% is rewriting those characters' mythos. It has nothing to do with those characters, and it happened to be a good movie, which is why everybody let it pass. But that's the thing, and we've talked about this before with Star Wars and Star Trek. You keep making prequels because prequels means you can rewrite the history of everything that's come before, so that when you reinvent it in the future, nobody knows what the past was about. We go, well, it doesn't matter because we already redid those movies. We've already remade those, so it doesn't. You don't even have to look at those anymore because of what we've done now.
Sorry,
you know?
extra girl, check private chat, please.
Yeah, it's I feel like it's every week this summer though. I feel like there is a case to be made, whether it's a micro or a macro problem of writers coming in and making these adjustments. Sometimes they're big, sometimes they're small. Masters of the Universe, Toy Story 5, Supergirl. I mean, it is everything this year. There is something being changed. I mean, even Project Hail Mary, which we've seen the movie. Hey, we like the movie. What it changes from the book, and yes, there are like the hard science is pulled out, but like there are some character differences there. Like the scientist, the lady, I don't remember her name off the top of my head, but she is like kind of a sociopath in the book. Yeah,
Completely
she's like
different,
not nice. She's not a nice person in the book, and they softened her like crazy for this movie.
Yep.
She's like you empathize with her, you understand the position
She sings
she's
karaoke.
in. She sings karaoke. She's nice. She is not nice, and they softened that. But that's the point. It's constantly changing things. Mike, that point about Drax, I'll never forgive that. And like the whole thing of why is he after Thanos and what's his motivation for being interested in Thanos at all? In the comics, it's great. They completely rob it away. It's a throwaway sentence. I think in Guardians 1 or 2. I think it's at the end of 1. He's like,
It's at the end of 1 where he says, Thanos is the real bad guy. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is I am designed and custom built to beat this guy. Like I'm here to beat Thanos' ass. That is my whole existence. Is just to fuck this guy's life up. It's very different. But I mean, the other part of it too is like you can have
40mm to the face.
It's when you have a book and you have hours of people reading a book versus you have 2 hours of a movie. That always is a conversation to have of what has to give and what doesn't have to give, and how do you change things and how do you disseminate certain information to the audience that you know is not just for fans of the book or fans of the source material. I think, we hold these examples up, but I think Christopher Nolan did a great job of getting the idea of what the Joker is and what he's supposed to represent in the Dark Knight. I know a lot of people say they're not good Batman films. I think they actually nail the idea of these two characters and what they represent to each other pretty well. I think Heath Ledger's Joker does a good job of it. But I also think Batman '89 and Jack Nicholson's Joker, especially watching him again recently,
doesn't really get all the
good
things.
adaptation.
the big part of that character is that he's a detective, and I don't think anybody's ever gotten that across. Not even the new movie, because he was kind of a retard.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people forget how much detective work he does in the Dark Knight. I mean, there's a lot of, like, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on against a guy that literally has, like, no identity. I thought that kind of concept, what it pushed him to do. I mean, I think it was interesting, but you are right. We've never got the world's...
He also wouldn't quit the mission because his girlfriend died.
That's true. Yeah.
That's
not just tell her
something
secret identity and then try by her.
Yeah. He's too much of a simp in the Nolan movies, kind of. I never liked that. I like those movies fine, but I have my complaints.
Rises in the Rises too, because as soon as he's captured, he's like,
yeah.
Batman Begins is a damn.
But he walks to his fucking spine getting broken in the third movie because he has a hot for Catwoman.
You know, on the topic of Project Hail Mary, I've listened to the audio twice now and rewatched the film twice again after it was digitally. And there are things in the film that it changed that did better than the book, and there are things in the book I prefer.
I love how they can look in the sky and my team does nothing. They're just staring into the sky trying to kill me because they're so fucking there. They fetishize only going after me and my teammates just fucking stare at nothing.
Movie rules.
It's so weird, dude. If I looked at the sky, I'd be fucking dead in
And I
2
think
seconds.
the things they made in the movie were different, but not a lesson. I think they made it its own kind of good, and the book is its own kind of good, and I hold them almost equally. After having re-listened and rewatched them both now twice, I love them both. They're just like
Wizard bringing up the change in the female. I haven't read the book. I watched the movie. I like the movie. It's fine. But that is it. Is that what you're saying? It is Wizard I can't. Why has no one talked about it?
No. In the movie.
Yeah, but that's an active
breaking news right now.
That's an active decision.
I'll push back a little bit on that, where I think the adaptation also left out some stuff where there is some softness in Strat in the book that they don't. And so it kind of balances out. Like, in the book, Strat trusts Grace far more. Grace becomes her second in command.
She has to kill me from behind.
Yeah,
I love how I joined in like 150 or 200 points late, or you know, like I'm Titan late, and I'm not the most skilled, like second most skilled.
Highly recommend listening to the book Rage Order.
Look how laggy this fucking guy is, man!
Great job.
Voice of Dark Tide.
Nice.
The difference here, though, is you and I, Gary, everybody at home, we're all not normal, and the normies are not. And when they tell the story to their friends who are also normies, or the kids that they pass these stories down to. Now, granted, yeah, Project Hail Mary, the movie's awesome. I enjoy it, and that's fine. And this is an isolated thing. It's like Harry Potter, the book versus the movie. Well, we would like that. It's different. But people are going to perceive, they are perceiving film, what is the shows, as fact. And so, and yes, Project Hail Mary was done to be a faithful adaptation, 100%. It was honoring the source material. You can enjoy both changes, and you've been able to study them. That's not most people. But when we look at something like Rings of Power, Supergirl, Superman, and my fear is going to be the Odyssey. It's these changes are being done to change the culture.
They're
change the perception
everywhere.
and relationships on these characters with the culture. Toy Story 5 made Buzz and Woody into embarrassments to change how we perceive Buzz and Woody. And they're going to keep exploring these things. And it's going to keep changing now.
Specifically with the Odyssey, specifically with the Odyssey, that's already known, because Emily Wilson says she made that translation so it could go into and easily be read in universities. It was designed to get in when people were learning about it, and that was the translation that will be used going into the future.
And just like anything, like the importance of these stories, right, whether it be the Odyssey, whether it be Superman, or whatever, a change in that is going to have more big ripple effects on things across everything than, say, an adaptation of a moderately successful that isn't part of any grander IP. You know what I mean? I agree with you with some of the changes to Project Hail Mary. I didn't have a
Oh, no one's shooting at him. Whenever I fucking aim in the sky, I get killed instantly.
I missed a lot of like the science shit. You know what I mean? because of how interesting it was and how intriguing it was, and there just wasn't as much time for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I wish there was a longer cut
But shockingly, there were some changes they made in the film that were better. The reveal about the fuel and that race to be able to return home, that was done better in the film. The emotion was so much stronger. Ryan Gosling, like even upon my fourth watching, I still tear up at that scene. It is so powerful, right? Where that's, like he does cry, but it doesn't carry the emotional weight.
You're watching something versus listening, so there's
exactly. And so, but there are things in the book that is so much better because the reunite at the very end, reunite the character is done much better in the film. And so, because some actually get better out of different ones, it's not just one is universally better and they don't make the combination. I love both of them. They're like two of my favorites.
Both equally. I like them both equally. Probably equally.
All of that with all of the other characters here and there. Making Helen of Troy the blackest bitch you can find is truly one of the worst decisions you can ever think of. I mean,
did you say the black berry?
Well, the blacker the berry, the better chance you get at an Oscar. But yeah, so making Helen of Troy the face that launched 1,000 ships into Lupita Nyong'o, that is a direct decision. Yep. There's no doubt about that. So
it's like Black Snape. There's no justifying that decision creatively. It is a political decision. It is an activist decision. Period.
Yeah, and it's a decision that I think it's one of the worst race swaps we've seen. Can we think of another one? Even though this is probably
Ariel.
Yeah, but like even Black Snape is not as bad as Black Helen of Troy. I think Black Helen of Troy is worse than Black Snape.
I think it's pretty.
The historical context to that and everything.
Both done for the same motivation.
Yeah.
They are, but the face that launched 1,000 ships is now going to be a black woman.
I think what it comes down to once again is context too, because like I'll bring this as an example. I know it's a rare example of it being done, but like Kenneth Branagh cast Denzel Washington as an Italian prince, and nobody was mad about it and much ado about nothing because Denzel Washington can do Shakespeare like with the best of them. It's about context for what is the reason, and right now there was no reason to do the race swap other than you're trying to appease your Hollywood constituents. Like there was no other. Christopher Nolan's not known for doing like blind casting. I just cast whoever I want to and whatever I want to. He specifically chose that, and there was a reason for that. There was somebody in his ear.
Maggie Gyllenhaal did happen, so.
But
I mean,
he just did flashes on that day. He knew she was fucking white though.
Yeah.
White, dark hair, looks enough like Kate Toms. Let's go.
No, Chris Nolan
ain't
first Hollywood game when he doesn't need to. Period.
Yeah.
And
I think you're getting better, dog.
He's backing their play. Yeah, he's.
Brian, did you see this? You can't see the whole headline. Not my Hagrid. Nick Frost,
the violent childlike part.
Nick Frost says people won't like his Harry Potter role.
I don't think he said that. I don't know if he said it like that.
Headline.
Yeah. I don't think he said that. I think that he said people are not like he was making a reference to the previous run, and I don't remember how he worded it, but that doesn't. I don't think that's how it was worded.
He's basically going to play it different. That's.
There it is, right there. Scroll down. He further added, "Some people won't like it. They'll go, not my Hagrid." That's what I saw that he said. The very bottom.
They already are.
But that headline's a little. Unless he said it somewhere else that I didn't see.
I think they're gonna play up a little on times where Hagrid does really lose his temper and stuff like that. What are the quotes he uses? Kind of violent and childlike. Which I actually do think those things, like, yes, Hagrid is very gentle at times with certain things, but there's also times where he grabs Karkaroff by the throat and holds him up against a tree for insulting Dumbledore. You know, he fucking uses magic on an 11-year-old boy and tries to turn him into a fucking pig as like, you know, like, that is kind of an outrageous thing. You don't think about it when you're reading that book because it's meant for like such a younger audience. Whatever. That is like a pretty outrageous reaction, and he could get in massive trouble. Yeah. I don't know exactly what he means here. Obviously, I've got some concerns about all of the stuff in the show.
Did you like the trailer outside of Black Snake? Because I thought the trailer was fine. Didn't blow me away, but like I thought it was fine. But
I agree. I think it was fine. It was nothing that was like magical. But the problem is there's such this overhanging dark cloud, no pun intended, which is fucking scary. Like, so knowing that we're gonna get a glimpse of that, I do think that fucking Dumbledore looked like he just crawled out of a fucking tunnel in New York City somewhere. That was a weird way to first see Dumbledore. But we've also seen a lot of stuff where he looks great.
The sets look really good. A lot of the actors look perfectly cast, and then there's Black Snape. And
if you take Black Snape out of that trailer, I think it's a fine trailer.
I think it would have gotten ratio.
Yeah. They absolutely would not have gotten ratioed. Well, it wouldn't have gotten ratioed if he was never cast. But even if they didn't show him, just the knowledge that the people have,
people are still
going to do it. Yeah. Because like I told you, Gary, if an Odyssey trailer, a official Odyssey trailer drops, and Black Helena Troy is in it, that motherfucker. If she's not in it has it's still got close without her.
Listen,
but if she's in it, it's done.
Speaking to that, if Chris Nolan is the only reason this film, and yes, I know it's a Chris Nolan film, but you take his name out of the equation, it'd be getting fucking wrecked so much worse.
Yeah, absolutely. 1,000%.
Yeah.
The fact that he survived, the fact that he survived the ratio is kind of crazy. But you're
if this backfires on him though, and this movie tanks, this could end his career.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, I think if it flopped, give it a jump.
But I think this not
He'll do a Star Wars
next gaping chest wound in Hollywood that's already like falling apart already because they can't bank on their biggest guy in their industry to survive this. Like, who else is there? They don't have any other stars or directors.
He's like one of the last people left that you will go see something based on his name.
Yep.
Yes.
And that could shake off after this. Like, I don't know if I would rush to the theater to see a Nolan movie if this is what I think it might be.
The only argument would be James Cameron, if he still made movies outside of Avatar, is a name that would get to the theater, but he doesn't make movies. So
he can't stop.
He's too busy going around.
Yeah, I'm building a new camera. I don't know.
M. Night Shyamalan gets
Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm going to the moon with my camera. Like,
wow. James Cameron has 5 Xbox, so he's got to do something. Big deal making Avatar movies.
I do agree. Like, if this wasn't a Nolan movie, this would be a movie that would be like one of the Netflix shows that comes out that gets just annihilated on the internet and
so I don't care what you're supposed to say. My grandmama told me Helena Troy was black. Right.
All right, that's it. Sorry for everyone for the echo chamber. I'll try to do better next. Yeah, 4 weeks in a row proving we're an echo chamber. So, hail to the echo chamber.
Bye, Jeremy. Bisexual Jeremy.
His fucking gun does so much damage that my shield gets fucking obliterated within half a second.
Right, like what?
It goes away so fast that I basically not even there.
Funny. Let's get to the people, shall we?
Sorry to hear that, dude.
Yeah.
I have to shoot him like 30 times to get it to have health.
So,
is that a fact?
I mean, I can read super chat.
Okay, well, what I can say is the meetup in Las Vegas has a location.
We're confirmed.
We are confirmed. We're just not sure what he's going to But we have a place in Vegas that is very close to the Millennium Day Bar where we held a lot of our events. We're going to keep that location name close to the vest for a while, and the reason being is because we had a location before, so apologies to anybody who's heard this before. We had a location for the Punk Rock Museum. I announced it on a Nerdrotic at night, and 25 minutes later, they pulled the plug. So,
oh my God, they're just camping Titans like a bunch of fucking faggots, man.
RSVP next week. Correct. Announce the name of the location very close to the actual date, but I just want to make sure we can find a way that everybody knows that name of the location. But it is in Las Vegas, it's close to the Millennium Fandom Bar. We're trying to like keep them from backing out, although it'd be very hard for them to do that right now. It's a very nice location. It's got some outdoors, some indoor, a bar, food. So the meetup is on August 6th, 6:30 to 10 p.m. Las Vegas, Nevada. It is a Thursday that's happening. And we will put up the RSVP next week. So thank you for waiting. Apologies to everybody that we are too punk rock for the Punk Rock Museum, apparently.
Titan is ready.
And I told the story before, but they gave us an excuse last minute that we miscalculated the overtime for security. So the event is canceled. They didn't say,
can't even see the C4 flying.
You might pay a little more money for security, which I would have been happy to do. Happy to do. But no, it was just crickets after that. Then it took them a week to return everything. So, fuck them for wasting our time, and putting this thing in jeopardy. And I would have preferred they'd been honest, because I know that. I know what happened. Either somebody who works there, somebody was a board member, or they got some phone call. Don't know. One of those three things happened, and they pulled out.
James Gunn is the new punk rock.
Yes. Yeah, that was the punk rock. But let's get to the people, shall we? Legalize Adulthood. Holy shit. Has gifted 40 Nerdrotic memberships. Whoa, 40. $200. Nice. We'll have to do a watch party. Maybe we'll continue with Clarkson's Farm, since we're getting a Clarkson's Farm Season 6. Jeremy Clarkson's cancer is in remission. Yes.
Yes. He really could have like stretched that out a little longer.
He could have.
It's like announcement 2 days later. Hey, we're peachy over here.
He was like on the farm working and in front of cameras. And if you go to the Farm Italy squad, you can go to the shop and you'll see him if you're lucky. That will be part of our UK trip whenever that happens. It's happening next year. Not sure of the exact dates yet, but we are going to be making a pilgrimage to Clarkson's Farm. Shad and I went there with X-Ray Girl and Mr. Pork Chop, and we signed the wall.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's still there.
You know,
watch that show before we go. Then, if we're going there, huh?
It's a really good show. I've just rewatched. Yeah, I've just rewatched season 1 with my 3 oldest kids, and they love it. And they're making really like good comments about farming, like and the complexity around it. It is actually a good.
It is a based show. In episode 2 of season 5, they burned Keir Starmer in effigy.
I know, right? I was laughing my head off.
I can't fucking see what's hitting me.
Yeah, and that's riskier than it seems over here, because people have got arrested.
You must open your eyes.
And I think that's exactly why they did it. Andy Roman, the guy who
on the goddamn roof,
ran Top Gear and Grand Tour and edits Clarkson's Farm. That guy's that dude. So thank you, Legalize Adulthood. We will never do that, by the way. Two-hander GC has gifted 20 Nerdrotic memberships for $100.
No, my grenade didn't go off. It's amazing.
Stephen A.
I threw a grenade right where the guy was.
$49.99. Guns DCUS truly inspired me to write my
Did you remember to pull the pen off?
To do it himself. I work full-time in a warehouse and have written only 2 fantasy novels. Only 2? Let's see. Well, that's 2 more than George R. R. Martin for the last 15 years, but I'm thoroughly convinced I can map out a better DCU than this. You probably could.
Hey, in a couple of years, you can.
Yeah. I mean,
you're going to be Superman. He can't fly, but he can still jump. Like, you'll be able to do something with a version of that character. And
I thought you meant that the job will be available in 2 years.
Oh, well, that too, yeah.
You have more riding experience than the rider of Superman.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I know a big, good comic book writer who has something locked and loaded and ready to go. I can't wait to see it. I am looking for that Sunday about George R.R. Martin. The anniversary. Unfortunate anniversary. Where?
Of course, it's on PC. Fucking faggot, man.
So George R.R. Martin passed a significant anniversary on the premiere of House of the Dragon, which is ironic, shall we say. I'm still looking for this stupid. Maybe you can find it.
Right.
So, on the premiere of House of the Dragon, it was like 5,584 days since the release of A Dance with Dragons. That also just so happened to be the exact same amount of time.
Look at this fucking faggot,
Game
man.
of Thrones and the Winds of
Can't
Winter.
win a gunfight, so he gets immediately.
So it is
in a
now
fucking
been
Titan like a faggot.
Write those books, publish those books. And that's how long the wait is. And that day happened on the premiere of House of the Dragon Season 3, which wasn't good, totally disappointing, and guess what? Viewership was down. Yep. Viewership was down. No surprise there.
It's not like Crash. What is it, like 22 million compared to 25 million or something?
8%. And you can attribute that to the 2-year wait. And they did bring that up. And that's something streaming shows are going to have to fucking figure out. We can't be waiting 2 to 3 years between shows, no matter how much longer. It's too long.
It really is. The George thing is even crazier when you factor in that he wrote 3 books in 96, 98, 2000. The first 3 books. The next 2 that were released were really just one fucking book that you split into 2 for Thief and Dance. So he's actively writing so little. What's that?
He's actively writing stuff and putting stuff out all the time. You know, he was a part of a bunch of things. Elden Ring. He's been working on these shows. He's published. Didn't he put out like some add-on book about lore and stuff in?
Yeah, Fire and Blood.
Yeah, Fire and Blood. Which is, like that is what this is an adaptation of. Yeah, House of the Dragon.
Yep. But with like Elden Ring,
he'll work on anything but his mainline books. The
Here
ones
it
that
is.
make him the most money.
Yes, and the ones that require the least amount of work because he's a lazy fuck. Today marks the day we've waited for. The Winds of Winter to release the same amount of days it took George R. R. Martin to release the first 5 books in a Song of Ice and Fire series. Day between the release of the first 5 books, 5,458 days waiting for.
What do you think? What do you think the reason is why George hasn't released the books or finished them?
Jesus Christ. Yeah. It's never coming out. It is absolutely never coming out. There's another thing I wanted to show real quick. I took possession of
I don't know. I think that fire's gone out.
Beautiful.
It's arrived.
Do you want me to come down and drag it over?
I think he's a whiny, fat little bitch who wants people to
show
remember
a picture
him,
of it.
and people won't remember him as easily if he releases the books.
So I got my scalp.
If we're always complaining about him not releasing them,
Starfleet Academy.
even after he's dead, he's still at least being remembered.
A screen-used shuttle chair.
Damn,
And, they did a weird auction where you can only pick it up in Canada, and I just so happen to know somebody who lives in Canada. Thank you, X-Ray Girl, who picked it up for me, and now it is here. There will be a Spock stream on this chair. That will fucking happen. 100% happen. So
that's awesome.
Yes.
Season 2.
Yes.
Think of how many times Holly Hunter's feet were on that, Gary.
That's wild, bro.
And listen, I have.
Hyde is going to be jealous.
Yeah, I'll think of Kato.
Oh my God! Don't even bring that up. That's just weird. But I think he likes feet. I think he likes feet because he's so close to feet.
It's like a trauma response. He has to like.
You're working for the good guys.
Poor kid, man. But I need a trophy from the Acolyte. I kind of have one for the Marvels. You know that poster where I drew the lines on it to make it look like an ass and vagina. I bought a poster and redrew it. I'm gonna frame it, and I've got this. I need one for the Acolyte. Something. But yes, very happy to get this. And the spot screen will be coming soon.
faggot loser.
Lost what I was
Bitch.
Holy fuck, dude, that's so good.
Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for 50. Hollywood Shills, Angry Jose, Grace Randolph, John Campia, all of them that Super Bowl was a good film. Meanwhile, Yasoy Zach, EBS, The Throat Goat are now showing for Supergirl. EBS made a creepy AI video of him and Millie Alcott kissing.
I love when people pause mid fucking screen. They're still shooting at you. It's amazing.
Look, people are gonna have different opinions. You're gonna disagree. It is what it is. We didn't all have the same opinion necessarily on some of the stuff we talk about here. Supergirl, pretty much a clean sweep for us.
Everybody seems to mostly agree that it's shit.
Yeah, because it is.
Because it is.
We have eyes and ears.
And it's so bad that people who are saying it's good, I would not trust their judgment on film.
Except for Rachel Leishman. We're sexist if we give it a bad review. But Angry Joe, what did Angry Joe say? If you don't buy a ticket for Supergirl, you're for higher gas prices and starving children in Africa.
Right.
Wow.
He's being a little hyperbolic there, probably, but I just don't understand
exactly the things that all these channels cover.
Yeah, like
even his.
I just don't understand why he. It's funny because he'll spend 3 days melting down on Twitter over it, but he'll really make it like a YouTube video topic. Probably because he knows he'll get fucking wrecked by it. So then even when he makes his review, he's like, yeah, this kind of fucking sucks. And he's still melting down the comment section. But
his point was really hypocritical. It was like he was taking issue with the fact that Disparu was taking issue
wonder what
with
the percentage of
Supergirl,
the
when
time
all
I
these other
died
bad things happen in the world.
between
What about you?
one-shot guns
Ranting about
and
retarded things all the time.
getting killed from behind.
Reverse the logic.
Just getting one-shot killed.
Under the same logic, what's like you have to get upset with the price of a video game when all the bad things happening in the world. You're a bloody
Yeah. He spent a whole week trying to comment on it. He could have been stopping a genocide.
Just no scopes.
Exactly.
Like,
His
it's
first comment-
Daryl stops the fucking sniper.
His first comment was even weirder.
Damn dog, keep barrel stuff juice.
When actually you're just going to blame out Supergirl because you want to have your politics. So we're going to have to pick one.
No.
I don't talk about politics at all.
No, Red Letter Media did that too, and I can't remember the video. All our covered it, where they talked about starving children in Africa. I think it was about Star Wars. Maybe I think it was one of the videos where they used Ryan's thumbnail. They love Ryan.
Yeah. That's the problem is that they're getting blackpilled by watching the videos.
One shot me from behind. He's so good at the game.
Have to double down.
No, they have.
they fucking crush Mando and Grogu.
They just want to separate from us so they can have and stuff.
Well, they have me in their Mandalorian and Grogu review, but I think that's because they don't know who I am.
Oh,
so it was perfect. So they put me in as like a good example. I'm like, you don't know who I am.
When Dispro's covering like Velma, Angry Joe's commenting on like all of those videos, like all of them.
He's killed me 3 times the one shot
You're
gun.
watching all of these videos.
Oh,
Like,
that's 4
obviously
kills.
you must like
So
them.
fucking
Like, I
hard.
don't hate watch that much stuff. I'm petty as fuck, and I can't hate watch that.
Oh, I can't wait for her gold. Let's get that made. I don't think.
What?
Yeah, she apparently it's not going to take place in that world.
It's diverse old women.
Wait, I don't know.
Oh, Mindy Kaling?
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about Millie Alcock, so I'm like, what?
Oh no. He brought up Velma.
I remember
He brought up Velma. So I hope that gets made. Oh man.
You cannot touch it.
That was. I don't think it was Velma.
Enemy pilot installed.
I don't know. The only remake is David Boreanaz. Every show he's in is pretty fucking good. Although makes me shit. Just have a detective show. Hail to that. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Everybody have a great weekend. Okay. Great Saturday and Sunday. 20 Petunia 7 for $49.99. Hi everyone, happy Friday. What do you think is the long-term plan for these studios? They cannot be making enough money to sustain the status quo. So what are they doing by continuously making bad movies over and over again? Have a good weekend. They're in a doom loop because they need to bring budgets down. The audience has shrunk. That's why they are charging. This is what the comic industry is. That's how it's been able to survive forever. They're charging fewer people more money. That's it. But it's also detaching the audience too.
Oh my
so,
god, it just eats bolts, man.
They stopped reporting ticket sales back in 2020, 2019 because they were dropping so much. And it's pretty much half the audience today. It's down 40 to 50% from even 6 years ago. So they feel like they can only do thrill ride movies and pump a bunch of money into it, and that is clearly not the case. And this year we've gotten some good stuff, some really good stuff, and YouTubers going out and schooling these fucking hilarious and write a better movie for Star Wars, getting fucking crushed by a movie that cost under $1 million.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And it's still doing well. It's still in like
still doing it.
No, Garrett said when he was looking for tickets, I mean, he found some, but he had to look. Like, when's the last time you had to, like, look that wasn't, like, some fan screening for Spider-Man or something like that? Like, never.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Henson, back from the dead for $50. Glad you're back. Please voice Kermit. KFC has Lobo Ranch and Ruth's Sweet Chili. Lobo would be more of a sweet chili guy than ranch. It's like Old Spice making Superman citrus and Batman black cherry. Everyone knows Batman smells like grease and gasoline. These promoters know nothing. I remember the Superman citrus and black.
Oh, there goes Grandpa again.
Black cherry. trying to get the Ryan in.
Wow, I'm like 7,000 feet away
That's
from
the way I
anybody
say
can
it.
hit me with a fucking
Come
melee.
over me. I don't know.
Well, you're starting to say
Such
the game
AIDS,
now.
man.
You're
Memes
Yeah.
need to be taken
You
out
think
of
they
every
would have
game
saved the
ever.
KFC promotion for Lanterns?
Fucking hackers have more skill than fucking people who need to be able to get kills.
I would have respected the hell out of that marketing.
Nice.
Maybe they'll still use it.
Yeah.
See, there you go, dude.
A cunning linguist.
Again,
Australian
fucking
dollars.
faggot can't even fucking get a kill without
Last week, I
kneeling.
was shocked to discover that Jeremy is an inflation denier. Since the 1930s, millions have been lost with books, documentaries, and even museums dedicated to us.
Faggot can't kill me unless it's from behind.
Don't be an inflation denier. I was hoping they would bring it down. If Gone with the Wind came out today, I heard that on I almost drove off the fucking road. I was driving up here. I'm like, what
Hired the right pilot.
are you talking about?
Double time.
Jesus. Retro Meister for 50. Hey, LFNT. I had a gut feeling last year James's Misfire's Super Skank was going to be the Captain Marvel of DC or Captain Marvel 2.0 based on bad decisions. You're better off watching classic episodes of Kara and Lobo and Superman the Animated Series over this nostalgia. Yes, you are. Absolutely. Superman the Animated Series is fucking great.
Supergirl looks so. That was such a great look for her. I'm surprised they've never. Well, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised that they've never used that again. But you know, it was such a great.
I used
great
my
look
defense
for her.
and I didn't do anything. So that's how you know
The
the
Batman
game is really
Superman
lovely.
crossover intro of Supergirl comic book run. I love. They are awesome. And then there's an animated adaptation as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen that one too. Yeah.
Those movies, they've done such a better job with their animated movies. I think some of those animated movies are better than a lot of the Marvel stuff.
They're really good. I will say in recent years they're very hit.
Well, yeah,
Not so
yeah.
Recently, they're not as great.
When they had that continuity line that they were doing,
It's
it's
one
kind
shot
of all
guns,
just,
so you can't kill me.
Well,
a lot of that stuff was really good.
Nightfall looks pretty good.
Yes,
it does.
I just saw the trailer for that the
Yeah,
other day.
they killed me
Batman
with
Nightfall,
anything
a
other than a
3-part
one-shot.
movie
It's
adaptation
amazing.
that they're doing.
I hope they get it right. 'Cause that'll be awesome. Yeah. This might be good news or bad news, but they were going to make a animated Kingdom
I
Come.
have more twice as many kills than
Alex
anyone
Ross
on the
and
team.
James Gunn
I'm just
mixed it.
camping, dude.
When he took over.
You wanted to kind of adapt Kingdom Come?
Maybe. I don't know the reason, but they basically shit-canned everything except for his stuff when he took over. Ian so forth for 50 British pounds. Hey, the World Cup's still going on, right?
Yeah.
Who fucking cares? Other than the entire world except me.
America doesn't give a shit about soccer.
We lost to Turkey last night.
But we're already in the next round, so they probably weren't.
To go up against two people that are using one-shot guns.
To make Turkey feel better.
Because you say you're a better player.
For fucking 3 minutes, you get a strategic loss.
Because the whole point, they put in their backup so that they weren't like wearing out their other guys and stuff. It was a kind of a...
For the doctor.
One of my favorite things is at the World Cup.
I just
one of my
want us to
favorite
win
things to
so
listen
we
to
can
on
tell everybody
daily.
it's soccer now. So.
One of my favorite things to listen to on daily. Whenever
No, my favorite thing was they didn't talk about the Odyssey this morning, so Jay can talk about the experience. That was really stuff. I hope it gets clipped by Danky. I want to Jay and the GM.
It went on a little longer than I expected, but yeah, because of that we didn't get to talk about the Odyssey influencer thing.
Brian, remember that time Jay came on and he went on like an 18-minute fucking talk, like it just went on forever. It was like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah.
What was he talking about?
And I can't even remember, but he didn't take a breath, so nobody could break in, and he just went on and on and on and on. I gotta find it.
I remember when we were in Vegas and we did the thing of that podcast in the studio, and Jay had no idea whose name was. It's what he called Chris Frank. And that's when he was sitting next to Robert Barnes, and I like didn't take my spot, and I came out and like had a drink, was chilling and everything, and I get a fucking message from him when he's sitting there on stream. He says, "What's the lawyer's name?" He just called Chris Frank.
We gotta find a place to do Vegas too. What's going on is, do Salty still have the studios promoted?
Yeah, he still does. I don't get much from them because I know that they're working a lot out there right now. So.
I saw the website still up. Terry Gillen was with the actor who played Van Gogh, and they were together watching Scotland. Yes. That was awesome. That was really cool.
At one point, she came home on the wrong bus as well, and she's surrounded by Brazilian fans, and she's like the only Scot. Starts her own chant, and just everyone else around her.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So Ian so forth for 50 British pounds. I love the feminist retelling of the Odyssey. It was the Sex and the City of ancient Greece. Oh, God, I hate that show. Everybody talked about it when it was out. So,
It's the worst.
Ian so forth for 50 more British pounds.
happened?
Kiri Christella Kiri son.
If you've got sciatica pain, get relief in 2 minutes or less with these 3 simple and safe exercises you can do at home that don't require any equipment. The first exercise is knee hugs. Lie flat on your back with your knees bent and feet flat on the floor. Then bring your knees up towards your chest and pull them in gently with your hands. Hold for 2 seconds and release. Repeat this for 8 reps. This is really beneficial for decompressing the lumbar spine to release that trapped sciatic nerve. The second exercise is the active piriformis stretch. On the painful side, cross the ankle across your other thigh. Then pull the ankle in with your leg. Hold for sit down and go in slumpy posture. Lift your head up looking.
Yeah, have you watched Peaky Blinders?
Not the.
There's this one scene where I don't know what the full context is of like why it happens, but they bring like this young kid to what he thinks is gonna be like a gang fight, but it's actually him. Like for some reason they're making him get married, and he starts freaking out. Which was funny because he wasn't freaking out when he thought it was going to be a fight, but once he sees what she looks like, he's like, all right, I'm down. It's funny.
Dog, why don't you become a honey harvester dog?
Nice.
What dog? Make some honey, sell it.
Alright guys, Hutch Comic again. I hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. 4 teams remain going into Championship Sunday here in Paris, and one of them is the home crowd favourite, the Gentlemates. They survived the gauntlet today to deliver for the fans in what's going to be a legendary Championship Sunday. That is for sure. The winners' finals is a familiar one. Optic have done it again, making their way through the winners' bracket today in very impressive fashion, where they will play a Thieves team that did look somewhat vulnerable. Very much intrigued your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. Today I went to the gym, right? So I left the hotel, I went out to the ground, and it was, I want to say, 11:45 roughly. This is 45 minutes before the venue doors even opened, and there was a huge queue from the venue, basically all the way back to these guys who were there as I was walking past the Grand Arch here. And you know, this was super loud, right, to just walk past this. And then, crazy thing is, when I came out of the gym, came back, got checked, whatever, and got down to the venue pretty much in time for the first match to start, there was probably still, I want to say 500, maybe 1,000 people who were trying to get in as the first game started. Like, the venue wasn't even full for the Paris match, the first game of the day, because they simply could not process that many people in time to get it all sorted. So So tomorrow, hopefully they can be a little bit quicker on the trigger there because, well, the security and all of this, there's so much security out this order as well. Because, well, they will need it because there's going to be even more people there tomorrow. Today was busy, but tomorrow's, we're talking about 18,500 people in the building. That is some of the numbers that have been going around. We'll see who actually turns up. Encourage says EU events.
God, why don't you become a science teacher?
How many have you actually been to? And you're there for about 5 minutes and then you're getting bopped out of the tournament. I remember the one in Birmingham. Then in the qualifying, right? Because John might were in the bottom of the standings. Anyway, his point is taken. It doesn't mean there haven't been issues this event. Every day there have been problems, challenges, players trying to get into the events, they're getting slapped by security, they can't
be the supply teacher conspiracy. Kind of like the,
this is the thing, like the bigger event you run, the bigger venue you have, the more security is required, the more logistically challenging things are. The small local events it tends to be easy to stuff like this, but an event on this scale, it inevitably has its pros and its cons, just things that gentlemen can't control with the security
that they secretly poisoned the weekend this
absolutely meant. However, some things probably were more under control, such as what's been happening on challenges. I'm sure I'll talk about it in more detail tomorrow morning. But I tried to tune into some of the challenges, having got back here to make some videos, and I just see Challenger 01, Challenger 23, Challenger 45, like, the players don't even have real names, they just have their like default data tag, which is a nightmare. Anyway, there have been some pretty interesting results. As I say, I'll talk about it in more detail, I am sure, tomorrow. But inside the venue, it was happening again. The Paris boys, they do the walkout, they get risen up through the stage here. And as I say, it was so loud in there for this first game of the day. And this was before even the whole crowd was even there. So later in the day was even more rowdy. And Forward was cracking up at Sim, right? Nonchalante, who will make absolutely no facial expression. This guy doesn't care. He's
You're gonna become a maester dog.
Anyway, Dante did have a pretty good finish to the day. This was the finish to the series.
Chain dog
but this was
necklace.
far from an easy affair for the Gentlemates. They go down in the end relatively comfortably in the game one.
What did they signify, like the different specialties or some shit?
I
can't remember what he says in the book.
The series with Hex, and they were
I think so, yeah.
of course. Gentlemates, they were fighting their way back into it, though they won the search and destroy. But honestly, they just weren't impressive game 3 at all. You know, again, it was the gridlock and overload that they played. Miami, to be honest, like, maybe should have won it more convincingly than they eventually did. But yeah, Gentlemates, they had a couple of opportunities that they squandered. There was one cap they let in.
People think, oh, George isn't writing his books, or he has to rewrite it because people didn't like the ending of season 8. Even like, dude, if that was his fucking, I don't care if they did it.
It felt like it could again be on the menu for Gentlemates to lose it. I mean, to be honest, Miami were up 200 to 160, and it looked like
just a bad
to close out that map. But credit to Paris, they fought their way back in. They won a couple of rotations. They took it to the final P2.
It's like if Mass Effect 3 had the same ending, but it was just done better. Like, oh, it's still the boy, the girl, fucking
of course, there's a lot of pressure on these guys to deliver, but also, for guitar, right? Like, they've put on this event. Paris have been struggling as a team the last.
It's like, oh, Mass Effect 3, oh, it's fucking pixies and fucking fairies everywhere. Oh, it's such a great ending. No,
to get to this point, they turn up to the home in front of all of this crowd.
When the new book comes out,
letting down the fans at that ending, warming up top 8. That was just like not acceptable. And honestly, if it happens, I don't see this team lasting much longer. Maybe they still play champs together, and maybe the World Cup or whatever. But like, if they were to lose to Miami today, there was no chance at all that that team is the same next year. It's probably not the same next year anyway at this rate with Hydra and all this. I don't know. There's conversations I'm sure that will happen in due course. But they needed this win so desperately for the all for the fans. And
fucking give me a concussion and I'd
still needed them to get like a win here in many ways. Just because, you know, you want this event to be as good.
Yeah, what's your ending?
As much as for the Miami fans, obviously it's tough that they lost in the manner that they did, because eventually they lost the game 5 in very dominant fashion. They got 6-0 to Miami.
Arya can kill Cersei.
To 160, they broke. Gentlemen won the game 4. They dominated the game 5.
For me, Jamie Lannister wouldn't go back to Cersei. if he did, he would kill her, but if they did go back together and he didn't kill her, then Arya would kill both of them.
For them to be there on the Sunday, even if they don't go on to win it,
Clegane
is
Bowl
going to
wouldn't
be
happen
a mega
because it's
storyline. That is for sure.
retarded.
So great all round, I think. Gentlemen did deserve the win. In the end, as I say, the game 4 was all over the place. At this point, we had 221-65. Gentlemen took it over on the final hill. They dominated the map 5 as well. They advanced through the tournament. We then had this, right? So Hexy, Hot Todd, Azuma's stream actually was talking a little bit about this, because obviously
if Danny
there's
is
been
going
a
to kill
fair few
everyone,
FU Optic chance, FU predict anyone chance coming
then
in from
it's going to
Paris.
have to
Like
not
people will
just
say,
be
you
completely
know, back in
random.
Birmingham. Okay, Dallas, there wasn't too much catching on. Obviously, the Optic fans were to win in Dallas. They lost to Paris in the finals. But, you know, we did have some moments in Birmingham and elsewhere where Paris
maybe her fucking maybe since it's the last episode of the show, I'll say Amelia, you're putting on the purple eyes and you're gonna look like a proper Targaryen now, and that's gonna explain why you're fucking completely crazy before, or something. And then she'll kill everyone, and then John will kill her like he did, and then he'll take the throne on James on the 6th.
I will say there is no doubt. I was also talking to Hex during the series, and he wants to knock these guys out
the base.
in sending the Gentlemates boys home, and they didn't get the opportunity today because they beat G2. But if they'd lost to G2, that matchup would have happened. Who knows? Tomorrow, that matchup could very much be on the cards. But Hex has said, look, obviously respect to Kataga and the guys and what they've put together here. And Hex was, you know, in no doubt full of admiration for what they've put together, but also full of, you know, optimism about what it means for the future of COD, right? Because, like, Optic can do an event like this. Gentlemen have now shown that they can do an event like this. It'd be great if all the other 10 teams could also do events like this. Obviously, right now that is far from the case. But, yeah, Hex is definitely optimistic that they won't get the opportunity to drop Paris out of the tournament, and that certainly would be a storyline for the ages. But Optic, they had no interest in dropping down to the Optic and potentially playing at Gentlemen in that matchup that we'll talk about at the end of the video against G2, because they wiped G2 off the map without too much difficulty. You know, the search and destroy was better. I think mainly the thing I wanted to see this series in Optic was what would they do in the search. They played the gridlock and it went in their favour pretty comfortably in the end, so that was a good map for them, just because, you know, their search and destroy, throwing away life advantages and stuff, it has crept back in lately. I'll also say Dashi was the star of the show this series. I mean, Hook had a great map 1, but Dashi down the line, I think arguably
imagine
because
he's
their best player over the last few months. Of course, all of these guys can pop over at any moment over the others. But Mercury has not been in contention as much lately, but he did have kind of quietly, I think, a very strong series here. He had the NPC in hand more often.
I guess we'll see, or
good numbers and good
won't see.
You do see the impact of the rest of the team as well.
Canon
this is a crazy
ending.
moment though towards the end of the overload. A pretty dramatic overload. Especially because of what happened after the end of the map. Because Dashi gets this 3-piece. You can see the ball is way back there in spawn. And there were a couple of occasions here when they they tried to get the ball out and wrap the ball up, but then they would lose a gunfight, and then they would have to basically...
Apparently he's working on
I don't think
Fire
they
and
intentionally
Blood, Blood and Fire. So
but it did kind of work out that they ended up kind of manually parking the bus. And I don't know if that's what Nasty was talking about here, whether he felt like that's what Hook did.
I don't really know what that's going to be
Nasty,
about.
And I think
I
Kremp
assume
also
Fire
wasn't
and
very
Blood
happy
is a
about it. I think
full
Kremp had a couple of words to say as well. You can see that Nasty puts his fist up, and he does fist bump him, but then he has a couple of words, and he says, oh, you know, what was that all about? And you can see there's a little bit of controversy. Not totally sure what they're talking about. You can also see that with Kremp as well, right, when he kind of, you know, fist bumps him, but then he says, you know, what was that all about? So maybe that was, I'm not sure if that's what they were talking about or something else, but presumably it was. And I mean, look, it's part of the game at the end of the day. We're certainly going to talk about some more dramatic drama in a couple of seconds when it comes to that Thieves series. But Dashi and Optic, they get the job done again. And yeah, they had a nice bracket for sure. But they got the job done. They advanced to winners finals again. That is another guaranteed top 3 placer. Of course, it could be second again, it could be first, it could be third. But it will be a restart, and that is a big deal because that guarantees whatever happens tomorrow that Optic are the #1 team for the World Championship. Even if Thieves win the event, and they go on to be crowned champions, they can only score 100 points. Optic are guaranteed 60, which means
that would be
at
interesting,
minimum,
right?
Optic
If
will
Sansa
be
dies,
the #1 seed for the World Championship.
there's
First
no
achievement in the CDL. Speaking of the feet, they did this tweet this morning. Breakers break it's very nearly a different set of breakers.
Arya won't want to take it.
Hydra, of course, has a huge amount of home crowd support. Yeah, they want Paris to win. If Paris don't win, they're going to want Hydra to win. Let's be honest, they want Hydra to play for their team at some point in the future, and I'm sure that Hydra has this. Would it be someone posting that idea if the numbers make sense?
The Night King
as well. But for
is
now,
revealed to be Aegon the Conqueror.
they get to 15 consecutive wins in controversial fashion, as they said.
And he wins or whatever, but
that's a better ending.
so he
No
makes,
bullshit. No bullshit. That's a better ending. He sits on the throne and the show ends. That's it. That's better. That's all it is.
Pretty much one way traffic, but FaZe played some really good stuff this series.
I wonder if, right before the credits were always just like, yeah, so I became the Night King because I want to have sex with my great granddaughters. And it goes to black and at the end of the show.
Absolutely no answer. I don't know what it is.
No, Megan Chad. So what? Does he smash them and then turn them into his?
They just play some great stuff. Like I think even
he's like
their first game,
fucking ice people.
They played some really fun.
So the intro song, that'll play throughout the credits, but the credits there'll be scenes of him just smashing all of his granddaughters, and that's it.
Of course, one of them is probably going to turn around anyway. He catches the first kill before it happens. There was crowd noise here, so there was a little bit of like the crowd cheese because they wanted Hydra to win.
Is that still better?
Did it make a difference? Maybe,
Dude, I already
not.
told you.
What made the big difference was this.
Yes, I would
04
actually
is
rather
weak,
have
Hydra is weak, and Hydra lays
like
down
when you said
and gets
fucking Snoke's gonna eat Luke Skywalker, that's better than
After
the
that
sequel
kill,
trilogy.
Hydra then got
At least if you're
another
gonna
one to
troll,
drive.
it's better to troll than be just.
No, I wasn't trolling.
And this has now been
Okay, it's better to say that than
but
have
Hydra, he gets tagged
anything
up,
is better than
and
season
then he drops down. And the way he drops down, he finds himself in this stair glitch, right? Now, look, this has caused a lot of controversy. Some say it's a stair glitch, unacceptable, blacklisting the full champs, absolutely no excuses. Others would say, Formal and Scump said, and I tend to agree with their assessment, that Hydra got tagged up. The play, always the play in that type of scenario, when you're in this type of gunfight, he was probably always going to move over and lay down and drop shot, because that is the only way you're going to
I wonder if in my storyline and Sansa died, what would happen to House
That is the best chance Hydra has of winning this fight. It turns out that when he lays down, which I think he would have done anyway, if there was no stairs here, he still would have been the same player.
Red Wedding, the entire fucking bullshit.
Because Allsby's getting pinched. Like, this was the gunfight that won the series.
Just kill all the stars.
As he lays down, he finds himself in a
Kill them
stalemate.
all.
Now, did he find himself in a stalemate, or was that intentional? Did he know? Like, incredible. If
I wouldn't mind if Arya died as well.
An incredible execution.
Go into the fucking Stark tombs and just a bunch of wildfire barrels down there.
This was the kill that effectively
just fucking blow it up.
Whether it's blacklists, grey lists, red cards, whatever you want to say. It's an interesting one. I think a lot of players are saying, in this scenario, game 5, round 11, it's kind of, it's understandable. Do you let the guy off? But then also, if you let him off, is this not like the most important possible time ever for this type of thing to happen? So, very controversial. Hydra stepped in front of the crowd, and obviously he said that we're going to try and beat you guys at some point.
Yeah, and like if the Night King
ridiculous series
takes the throne or whatever.
To play Toronto, and on the other side of the losers
right
bracket,
before it ends, you just
got the job done against G2.
See them look up at the sky.
They won the game,
and just the shot just kind of lingers there for a second, and then you just see something pop up, and it's a fucking Star Destroyer, and then it just cuts the block.
That'd be sick.
We all expected Supergirl to not have a great opening weekend.
That's Disney's saving grace. They say they're in their Game of Thrones universe now, and then people fucking give a shit.
This vision of James Gunn's universe, it's not working. It's just not. now you're going to have zero momentum going into the next Superman movie, Man of Tomorrow, which you already had bad momentum based off of Superman already. I didn't like James Gunn's Superman. I was looking forward to it. For the record, I went into that movie with pretty decent expectations because I liked all of James Gunn's Guardians movies, and I was like, let's give this guy a shot. It was not good. It was horrible. And now we have Supergirl having a disastrous opening weekend that is even hard to comprehend. It's a birds plane, it's Supergirl crashing into the ground. The movie doesn't even hit 50 million in its opening weekend and is on course to open to only $40 million, way below tracking. What's worse are the B- cinema scores, and it's just gotten worse and worse. Odin, who said, fun fact, Supergirl is tracking to make only half of the opening weekend of Backrooms, which was a film made for only $10 million. Warner Brothers spent
apparently some people think that Aegon was Aegon the Conqueror was sterile. So
how does it happen? It happens when your lead actress starts to play the fake victim.
I don't think that that's like a popular theory. I just think it's some people saying.
This isn't the only reason that this has happened, but this definitely turns people off. Supergirl star Millie Alcock knows she'll face backlash by simply existing as a woman in a franchise IP. We have become very comfortable having this weird ownership of women's bodies. I can't really stop them. I can only be myself. Okay, so I've seen the movie. I went into this expecting her to be horrific. I'm just being fair as I can. She's not the worst part of the movie. I actually think that she probably could have played a good Supergirl with a better script and a better director and a better vision. And I don't think they did her any favors.
Night King.
With that said, though, I have no sympathy for her because of comments like this and comments like this one here.
It's the good people with John and all those other people. Just see Samwell Tarly join the Night King's side and they all fucking die. You see Samwell's eyes fucking become like a psychopath's eyes. That I fucking hate them all for making fun of me because I'm fat. And they're gonna fucking die because they made fun of me. What do you think of that, dog?
You think the Night King knew that Dragon Glass could kill him?
Fucking Night King knew that the writers were gonna.
And why does Dragon Glass kill him?
Because it's fucking bullshit, dog.
It wasn't, but in honor of Pride Month, as I'm getting all these questions, I don't know. I think that what makes this film so beautiful is that it's not centered around men. It's centered around love and if anything, but we'll see. I don't really know, but I don't know. I don't know. She'll probably go both ways.
So there you have it. Stuff like this did her no favors, and so I have no sympathy for her, even though I don't think she was awful in the movie. Her and Jason Momoa's Lobo, those were like the only two things that I didn't hate about it. Everything else I hated about this movie. I thought it was absolutely horrendous, but it really doesn't matter. It's failing for multiple reasons. In fact, to put it in perspective, Supergirl debuted $18 million in its opening Friday, including all shows. In comparison, Morbius 17.3, Joker 2 hit 20 million, The Marvels 21.6, The Flash 24.2. Looking for a 37 million to 39 million in its domestic opening weekend with poor word of mouth. Poor word of mouth. It is completely horrible in every way. But there is someone that is willing to fight for the rights of Supergirl, and that would be Angry Joe. And he is very, very angry, to say the least. He fought for this movie, he argued for this movie, he begged his audience to go see this movie, and he ended up hating it.
Yeah, and as if I'm getting in the hate again. You're louder, hit it, motherfuckers! It's like a 5 out of 10. I'm sorry, 5 out of 10. And trust me, I wanted to come here and I wanted to tell you how great it is. I wanted to tell you, hey, go out and see this. Let's support our cousin.
Yet even with him hating the movie, instead of hey guys, I was wrong. Everyone else that criticized it was right. No. He's decided to not only hate it, but also still blame the chuds out there. It's absolutely insane to me. Here he is complaining about review bombing, and he's been going off about all these other things right here. Here he is, the anti-woke grift falling hard, or falling off. When your parents are doing it and effing it up, it's just not fun anymore. Here is Fox News covering it, and I just responded with, hey man, you probably need to see it. You probably need one. I'm sure this will upset me a little bit. Was that my intent? Never. I'm never trying to intentionally upset the internet.
What if, man, the ending, the Night King... The Night King fucking wins, but he's keeping everybody a prisoner, and then, like, he reveals to them that he's actually... He turns back into Viserys for Gary, and he just tortures Daenerys for the rest of the show.
Why would he do that?
Go out and see Superman 2025, a film so many of you hated with passion.
Well, it's his brother, right? Or her brother?
I don't remember.
Oh, that Viserys.
I just recall hating what they did to
see
Superman,
him come back a bit
but I
pretty
didn't
late.
call it woke trash. I don't think.
Yeah.
The thing about this is, whether or not the movie is woke or not really is irrelevant. That's not what makes
that's
this
it.
movie bad.
She just becomes
now,
like a sex slave.
Would I argue that there are woke elements in it? Sure, just like I can argue that Cobra fucking Kai has goofy moments with, you know, women and men fighting, and the men never punch the women, but the women always punch the men. Like, it's dumb little shit like that you see that annoys you, but wokeness is not the problem with this movie. James Gunn is the problem with this movie. Wokeness is not the problem with this movie.
Not at all.
I also said go out and support Black Adam, another bad film, because I wanted Henry to get another shot that he deserved. My audience has the context of what to go out to support a film means. They know our review is always on the way with our brutally honest opinion. You don't. And here's where it gets fun. Unlike your grifters, we don't decide a film is worthless or a failure based on LGBT interviews before we see it. We judge on our final review. We don't care if an actress says she could go both ways and it just blah, 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 blah. Yes, the film wasn't as good as we wanted. That's right. It doesn't justify any of the piece of shit behavior from those who have your attention. Why are so many cavemen thumbnails from Nerderotic and his ilk on Millie when she's the least of the film's problems? I actually agree she is the least of the film's problems, but it's still funny, and all of her attacking the audience makes me have zero sympathy for her. And I'll put more caveman, as he calls them, thumbnails up just to upset him.
Oh, dude, that ending was fucking horrible.
I'm glad we didn't turn out like this, and that we don't care to appeal to the lowest common denominator with that shit. We were raised.
I didn't realize how much sentience the dragons have, dude.
Try here for us more. It helps with engagement. Joe was raised right, everybody.
Like, after he fucking kills Daenerys, what Drogon is just like, it's all because of this throne, so I'm gonna melt it down. What the fuck?
I bet some people are like, oh my god, that's so poetic. It's like, you realize how dumb that is on its face?
It's a fucking animal and it has higher reasoning capacity than those fucking people, dude. Like,
yeah. Yeah, he's got it all together. So,
it's like,
how
what
dare
revenge
you,
does he
how dare
get?
you have an opinion?
What revenge does he get? Maybe if it was a person and he burns it alive, burns the person alive. But no, he burns the throne. It has no sentience, they can't regret anything or feel anything.
you understood what it represented, dog. The first time he's seeing it.
All of that was? No. You want to know what it actually was?
It's the first time he's seeing it and he burned.
Yeah, but you know what? Want to know what it actually was? It was one small extra reason for us to be like, oh, you know why Bran being king makes more sense now? Because he doesn't need to sit in the Iron Throne. He has his own fucking chair, bro. 100 fucking percent. That's what it was.
It's a critical failure, and nobody is going to watch it. And the people
Maybe, dude.
And none of his crying is going to change that. All he should say is, you guys are right. I was wrong. Movie sucks. This is not difficult. I don't know why lefties have a problem.
Man. Imagine you get paid millions of dollars to do that.
Because it's Pride Month.
Fucking tragedy. They could have, if they finished that show good, how it should have, whichever way that is, like any way that's good. And they were proven to be absolute trash retards for anything else, everyone would still love them. Like I'd say, I don't care what else they fucking did. They did good with Game of Thrones, so it wouldn't fucking matter. But no, they couldn't even do that. So now they're not gonna make anything with fucking Netflix. They got a 10-year Netflix deal. Haven't done shit with it. Just like garbage. I'm sure when Netflix saw season 8, they were like, yeah, we got to get out of this contract as soon as possible. One thing that I hate about the whole situation, though, is people can be like, oh, the reason why George left was because they were straying too far away from it. But it's like, okay, I don't care how far away they're straying from it. You should stay there and try to keep them on course, at least from what they're trying to do. Keep the dialogue good and keep some things, fit the universe. But he keeps leaving every time. Like, I get it.
Yeah, dude.
I get it, but it's the show, it's not your book. But he's gonna keep leaving and complaining that they're not doing what he wants, but he's leaving, so how can they do what you want if you're gone? And then you talk shit about them, so why are they gonna do what you want anyway?
What has he said?
Well, I don't read what he says because I'm not gonna fucking listen to what he blogs about, but he has a blog that posts on it sometimes. Basically complaining about, like, what he did before season 3, he complained how they were changing stuff, and I think what he was mainly complaining about was the chick with the weird eyes having sheep's tear instead of the only actual black chick that was black in the book.
Yeah.
But it's like, how, I feel like that's kind of bullshit. Like, For him to leave Game of Thrones and it's like, oh, but they followed George's outline for the ending. It's like, you're gonna tell me they changed so much in 5 and 6, but they're gonna stick to the fucking ending at the end? I just feel like that's bullshit. And it's like the fucking dumbass hasn't written any books, so how are they gonna stick to the story material anymore?
How is he?
Wait, your mic cut out. What?
How's he meant to finish everything in one book?
No, he has Winds of Winter and The Dream of Spring.
So he's working on both at the same time?
I don't think he's working. He might be, but I don't think he's working on both at the same time. I think he has up to like 11 or 1,200 words or pages for Winds of Winter. I haven't heard anything of Dream of Spring.
He's gonna be dead.
Yeah. The guy's like 80 something already. And he's fat. I'm surprised he's still alive. He's been fat for like 20 years, 30 years.
Yeah. We're gonna have to give it to somebody else to finish.
Yeah, I think there's already people that are in line for that. I don't know who, but people are already being people that are going to do it.
What if they made? What if they made Braun like a secret? Fucking mic cut out.
What if they made him a what?
Or Targaryen.
No, even though I like Braun, that just wouldn't really make sense. It wouldn't fit.
What a bastard.
Yeah, but even with bastards, like you have to be able to hear it and not be like so surprised that it doesn't make sense. Like Gendry would make sense because he, grew up and was born in King's Landing and he has brown hair. He's not the most random person to be a Baratheon. One theory that people think is, or maybe I said this the other day, but some people think that Tyrion might be a secret Targaryen. What do you think of that?
Why do they think is?
Because since Tywin was the hand of Aerys, people think that Aerys and Tywin's wife smashed. And like things with his eyes and one thing is I don't know if it's something that just like Tywin says or just a part of it, but him being an abnormal person, like in terms of him being a midget or dwarf, people are like, oh, that wouldn't happen to happen with a Lannister, but it could happen with a Targaryen because they have fucked up babies all the time. Now they usually don't live, but that would be maybe because he's only half. And it is interesting. The story that, you know, some people like Oberyn heard about, you know, the monster that Tyrion was when he was born. Like he was thinking he was gonna have like teeth and fangs or fucking claws and shit. And it's like, that almost sounds like what Targaryens have when they have the scaly babies. Now that could be confusing.
So what he grew out of it?
No, like, what it could be is just like, an indirect, kind of hint. It's like a, what's the word? Like a metaphor, because he is, because that does happen with some Targaryen stillborns, and it's like a metaphor for him being a Targaryen, but that's only a theory.
God damn.
What the fuck happened, dog?
My back and hip are fucked up. Oh, shit.
Nice. This guy's a fucking gay faggot, dude.
2016, 2017 president over. Up, down.
Nice, this guy's a gay retard.
Fully run out those phony campaign from other politicians. Vetted people. I guess our force sensing sun.
This guy's a fucking faggot, dude.
Well, they have
Dude, I missed that guy.
Yeah, dog?
Yeah, dude. That guy hasn't uploaded in a while. I wonder. Damn, dog, you're at the bottom of the league. Got fucked up the car. Fucking games still isn't out for PlayStation. Fuck, this game was a letdown for you, wasn't it?
No. What?
Fucking hate this game, dude.
Nice.
Oh, fuck. Whoa. What you get in here? Oh.
What?
Why don't you become a raider dog? What's stopping you, dog?
I failed English. That's probably one thing. Which I wasn't there for way more than half the classes, but still. I just couldn't mentally do that and physically do it either.
Yo, dude, I got an idea. It might actually work. Okay? So we're gonna take your car. We're gonna go to George R. R. Martin's house. We're gonna fucking kidnap him. We're gonna hold him hostage at your place. And you're gonna threaten him. And you're gonna put a gun to his head and force him to write The Winds of Winter. Okay? And you're gonna do that for how it takes till he fucking finishes it. Then you're gonna read it. And then, you know, if there's something you don't like, you fucking whack him in the head and tell him to fucking change it until it's exactly the way you want it. And then when you're done that, then just tell him, okay, start the next fucking book and put the gun to his head again, okay? If it's the ending that was already there, then that we already saw on the show, well, that's up to you. You could do whatever the fuck you want. But if it's something better and I mean, you got the gun, dude.
What happens after that?
After what?
After all of it.
The world is looking for him.
And I'll make him give all of the bookshelves to me.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that'll probably draw more attention to you, but I mean, if you want to.
Why, I'm just co-op producer.
A fucking song of ice and fire. Wow. Song of ice and fire. That's amazing.
Alright, I'm
I
gonna
like how
yes,
the fucking Night King was killed before Cersei, dude. Oh.
Retardation, but yeah, I'm gonna get off.